What's up? Welcome back. I just want to give you guys a little bit of an update. The original plan for the livestock of the tank was to have the four bikers on the bottom and then an arowana at the top. If you remember from my past video, I actually got a baby arowana and I had him in a little grow out box just so I can get him on dry foods and get him off live basically. He was eating really good. He was eating dried krill. He was too young to starve, so I had to feed him whatever I could. But he was still kind of picky. It would only eat every once in a while, and keeping that grow out box clean was kind of a burden. At the rate that my Enleys were growing, the arowana probably would have not caught up in size with my two big Enleys. So I decided to move on with the arowana and pass it on to one of my buddies. He has a little grow out tank that he needs monsters to grow out in, and I decided to just give it to him and let him grow it out. So for the tank, it's back to the four bikers, right? So I needed to get another fish. The four bikers are cool for the meantime, but I wanted a fish that would consistently swim. The bikers like to just sit at the floor, and I wanted something more active. After making my last video of my top 5 fish that I would revisit again, I wanted to revisit one of those fish. One of my favorite fish that actually got me into the toothy kerasin hobby, and here it is. So I picked up this Pyara. This is a red tail Tatunia or whatever. This is the Pyara that I initially wanted. My first one was a Scone, which is the smallest version. And this red tail was the one that I was after. After seeing one of my buddies had one. It was around 12 to 13. And it was pretty aggressive looking. It looked crazy. It just looked like a crazy, insane fish that was red. So I wanted one. These fish never really come along in my area, so when I saw the opportunity to get one, I had to get it. I messaged the LFS, and the LFS had one. Picked it up pretty much the same day. Didn't really want to skip a beat on this one just because the Pyara, especially the red tail, is kind of hard to find, right? The only ones you really see is the Armatus, the big ones, but I didn't really want the huge Armatus. I just wanted the red tail Tatunia, whatever. So I went and picked one up, and I'll show you guys a clip of when I picked it up. Alright, you know your fish is special when it comes in a box. Technically, I've seen the fish. Damn. Technically, I've seen the fish already, so it's not really an unboxing, but let's go home and unbox this fish. Alright, so we're gonna unbox this right now and see what is up with this bag. We got the Pyara. There he is. Red tail Pyara, aka the Pyara Tat. It's looking beautiful. Let me turn off the light so he's not as stressed. You guys may or may not know, but I've had this similar setup in the past. I've had 3 Delhaises and 1 albino Senegal, along with Pyara Scone. This these 5 fish was my favorite of all time. And then one day I got rid of the bikers, and then my Pyra just stopped eating. I'm not too sure why, but it stopped eating for a while. I didn't want it to die, so I go ahead and gave it to my LFS. The same LFS that got me this one. And well, they gave me a store credit for it, and I ended up using that on some other stuff, supplies and things like that. So here he is in the tank. My new red tail Pyra. Kind of small. I'm very I'm kind of scared that I would turn off the lights and the curious go wild on his ass. He's roughly a little smaller. It's always the first night having the fish with us that's always the scariest part. But I'm not doubtful on this fish, and hopefully, it survives. Usually when it's the scariest when you first buy the fish, the first couple of days, that's the scariest part. You don't know if they're gonna like it, or you don't know if they're gonna get attacked. You don't know if they're gonna trip out and die. That's the scary part. But let me try and zoom into his face. Look at that. There he goes. Yeah, he's gonna be a future beast. Can't wait. Can't wait till he starts eating. I'm gonna get him on prepared foods, dead foods. No live in this tank. There's no way that fish would survive long enough for them to be hunted by this guy. He is beautiful. He's looking good. Let's see if I can get some light on him. This guy right here is looking crazy. Hopefully this guy grows nice and big, strong. He's skinny right now, but eventually he'll grow up to be a monster. I just like how they swim at a slant, like a knife. Yeah. Look at that shot. Bro, look at that shine. It's nice. Nice. It's fucking sick. Alright, so for right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and record with my phone just because the GoPro it's kind of hard to pick up the fish since it's such a wide angle lens. So I'm gonna try to record with my phone. My mirrorless camera is kind of put away. I don't want to take it out. But yeah, I'll get some clips of him real quick and you'll see it right here. As you can see, the fish is fairly young, so his teeth are still kind of clear. And when they get older, the teeth are very, very bright white. When I first got my scone, his teeth was kind of clear, kind of like thin. But once he ran into walls, knocked them out a little bit, new ones grew out. Those new teeth was actually really, really bright white. It was so bright to the point where you can actually see it through its skull. If you don't know, Pyra's teeth, the front fangs are very, very long. And when they close their mouth, it actually goes into 2 little holes that's in their nostril area, and it just goes straight into their skull. So it's like the skull's here, and it just goes in the skull like this, which is pretty crazy. It's some evolution shit. But this guy's fangs are very, very thin, and they're still clear because he's very young. But once he gets older, he'll have nice, bright, and huge teeth. Over the Pyra's lifespan, their teeth will consistently fall out from snatching on food too hard, running into walls, and it'll just fall out in general. Just like how stingray barbs, they fall off. Pyra's teeth fall out too. It's very normal to see broken teeth. With my scome, actually, I think 60% of the time his teeth was kind of broken and he wasn't able to close his mouth. You would think that the fish wouldn't be able to eat, but in reality, it'll just smash through food anyways. Even though it can't close its mouth, it'll just swallow it. The thing with those teeth is it's not really a biting type of fish. It's more of like a catching type of fish. Those fangs are actually used to just kind of spear fish. They're not meant to bite you. So yeah, that concludes this specific video. Over time, hopefully it'll build some size, start patrolling this tank and be a little bit more comfortable, along with these guys right here. They have some time to grow. Everyone here is still kind of the smaller version of their potential, and I can't wait to see what's next for this tank. For my tanks, sometimes things change and plans switch up, but I think this is going to be my permanent stock list for now. I don't see myself getting any new fish. I'm going to keep my bikers until I can't keep them in this tank anymore. And I believe my permanent resident will be this red-tailed Tatsunia. But yeah, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one, and peace.